Ladies, gentlemen, and that Technicolor rainbow in between, welcome to now the third session of The Lost Island. I am genuinely surprised to have made it so far without my players killing me. How are you all doing today?
Strychnine's in the mail, dear.
Feeling like we want to kill you for reasons outside of this game, but
Yeah, you see,
by the way,
unfortunately...
Ari, Strychnine's not going to work. Viruses just think I'm one of their own.
Yeah, see, unfortunately I live with him and I kinda need him.
Anyway.
The page has been opened.
Excellent. So, since we ended up putting this in the story halfway through the previous session, I'd say that calls for a bit of a recap. Last time, on the Lost Island, after being defeated in a duel with Inigo Montoya, Kun Unwin the Hellhound travelled to find Luke Skywalker to learn the ways of the Avatar. Meanwhile, Korim and Vell teamed up to pilot a Gundam to go after the... sorry guys, wrong notes. Where was I? Give me a second. Okay, here we are. It has been a few weeks since the battle against Archer and his Manticore. In that time, the party had been assigned to hunt down pirates in the local area, well, across the island, I should say, as it had become clear that these pirates had become more of a threat than originally anticipated. In order for this arrangement to come about, the party had intended a meeting between King Horus and King Kong, which also featured the enigmatic Mr. White, the guildmaster of the Black Hawks, who was able to deflect proof of any wrongdoing against him, though everyone still remains suspicious of his true motives, as well as other things towards his nature. So, leaving that initial meeting, all of you had some free time on your hands. For Khan, this may well have been the first time he ever set foot in a Golden Lion city, let alone the capital of the Golden Lions, the city of Tagura. Now, I'm going to ask this of Vell in a bit, but Korim and Kun, what would you like to do in this spare time that you have available to you? Oh, and of course, Whisper as well. I didn't mean to exclude you. You too, this may be your first time in the city of Tagura. What would you like to do?
Did somebody else want to go first?
Shall we go alphabetically by name?
What about Claus?
I'm waiting to ask Claus because there is something that you have been invited to, Vell, and considering that he is your regular host, it is probably fair that he know about your invitation before making his choice. Actually, then in that case, I think it might be fair to inform you about that now. So, when you last managed to speak to her, Your daughter said that she could arrange things for you to meet your former husband. That invitation has been extended. Will you accept?
I will, but I would like to see what the other three do. Because I still don't trust this Whisper fellow.
I'm going to...
Well done.
All right.
Well done. We are now aware that you have eyes. I will remove the -4 perception penalty.
Kuhn is going to stick near Klaus because of a lot of reasons.
That's what I'm going.
Oh, also, you've been instructed to wear not wear red tiger colors when you are traveling the city because that might cause a few problems.
Well, very well. But it's no skin. It's no skin off his back. No pun intended.
So, Kuhn is with Klaus. Klaus, Korim, and Whisper, what are you doing?
Whisper is basically going to be going around, making friends with everyone, going into taverns, paying for people's drinks, gathering up gossip and news about the local area.
Of course.
Whereas Korim would likely be, well, partly shopping and then probably stop by one of the military barracks and see who's around.
All right.
Claus for most part is following Korim around, and I'm just waiting until Vell says, "Hey, let's go meet my ex-husband."
Of course. And Kuhn, you are just simply tailing Klaus around?
Yep, just keeping vigil.
Good stalker. Who's a good stalker?
How much time are we do we have?
Generally I'd say you've got a couple of, you'd have a couple of days, but I'm role playing. But what we'll be role playing is a couple of hours in game time, of course, not in real time. We don't have that much time.
Excellent. So what I'll be using my renown. So basically, what I just role played I'm using my renown ability.
Okay. And what is your renown ability?
I can spend 1 week to gain renown in a specific area. 4 hours each day socializing. NPC's attitude becomes 1 category better. All NPCs in the area I am renowned become 1 category better.
Ooh, okay.
PM that stuff to me. It might come in handy. It might come in use to me later on. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yep.
Speaking of which, we will take a look at what Jeremy's doing to start with, what Whisper is doing to start with. So,
may I say something really quick, though?
Please go ahead.
Kuhn, I can protect Klaus. Why don't you tail this Whisper fellow?
It's Kuhn hears that, just doesn't really answer, and only looks to Klaus.
Do I have to do everything myself?
Well,
Vell-
you just said you could protect me, so isn't that technically you doing everything by yourself?
True, but do I have to keep an eye on the new fop as well?
You believe him to be a danger.
I believe that he cannot be trusted yet. And considering the fact that the people that you all trusted last time, those Misters Bald Heads, that wound up getting us on the beach, and the person that Rhea trusted, her teacher, wound up stabbing us all in the back. I don't trust anything yet.
To be fair, I never trusted anyone on that ship.
Fair enough.
Or somewhere in the distance. I didn't trust anyone!
So, Kun, shall I tail him, or shall you?
Yeah, Kuhn's pondering this.
Whisper might be able to just evade Khan if he notices him. But can you be out without a host for
I will
too
be.
long?
I can. Oh, if it. Oh, I can track him.
I hope so. And if I were to go, Claus, I would be trying to possess him. Like I do to you. Just not as obvious.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Very well. If that is my order, then I suppose I must comply.
Just come back and find us soon. Just let us know what he's up to.
Very well.
Oh,
I will be back. Okay, so I'm going to activate an ability.
okay.
All right. I'm going to activate my divination scent. I can spend a spell point to gain scent, and I can spend an additional spell point to upgrade this ability to keen scent. So I'm spending 2 spell points for keen scent. And I have smelled him. I have smelled him before, so I can probably figure out how to track him down.
Well, okay. Jeremy, is Whisper doing anything to conceal that would be concealing his scent?
Actually, he actually changed his shampoo like he said he would.
Okay.
Well, I'll change to shampoo, but there's other things on you.
The shampoo would help mask it, so it will impose a penalty. Okay,
All right.
so this is
All right. Also, Shay, he has the. I sent you a link to the Scout Spear. He has the ability Lurker, which means I'll just basically run you through the cliff notes of the ability. Even if you use divination abilities, if it's a dragon with blind sense or whatever, if the creature fails the perception check to detect me, they do not find me.
Yep. So in this case, you will be using your scent check as your perception check.
Well, thing is that only works for things such as blind sight, green sight, or tremor sense, and it cannot automatically foil your use of stealth. So, are you stealthing right now?
If I successfully detect you, then I imagine he would.
Okay. So in that case, to start with, Josh, you will make a DC 14. You will need to make a DC 14 scent check.
Okay. All right, 12 plus 5.
You pass.
Yeah.
So you are able to track him with scent. Now I'm going to ask you to make a perception check, Whisper, and you to make a stealth check, Josh. And yes, if you have any talents that help with stealth, you may apply those.
I rolled a 29.
Yeah, I am not getting into that. Okay, I'm not beating that unless I get a 20.
All right.
That's not a 20.
All right. So yeah, Whisper, you are quite well aware of the clumsy oaf who is trying to stalk you. You may make your stealth check, and Korim, you may make your perception check to, well, keep him in sight.
All right.
I rolled a 32 on my stealth.
Yeah, that's no good. 24.
Unfortunately, Kun,
Yeah.
you end up losing. You're able to get side eyes on him, but you end up losing him in a crowd of people. The multiple smells, the fact that he's using a little bit of weather magic to blow the scent in different directions, and all of it ends up confusing you, and sadly you lose him.
All right.
Now, as for you, Mr. Whisper, The city of Tagura, the capital of the Golden Lions, was built at the base of a mountain around a wider but shallower caldera. In the middle of the city is a large, very clean lake of pure water that is the main source of bathing and drinking water for the entire city. There are several mages, clerics, and druids who keep an eye on making sure that this water is not contaminated by accident nor intent. The common citizens build their houses around the lake, while the more wealthy, the nobles, have built their mansions up along the sides of the mountain, particularly near the waterfall that flows down into the river. The waterfall comes from a glacier at the top of the mountain that melts as it slowly gets further down, allowing for a constant and fresh supply of clean water to the lake. Now, you're going around town to town asking questions, ingratiating yourself with the locals, and yes, many of the locals are quite taken in by your charm. They're ordinary people, so, they're kind of daft.
My kind of people.
Indeed. Still, you mentioned asking questions, so I'm going to have to ask, could you be a bit specific about what you'd like to know?
Well, first,
There is much I could tell you, but...
Alright, so the main reason we're there is to find intel on piracy, right? Find intel on local piracy. So basically, what I'll be going around is smooth-talking people, trying to find out what they know about the pirates, where ships have been disappearing, whether or not there's ever been any survivors or accounts, what people remember, that kind of thing.
All right. You do actually find quite a decent bit of information. For the first part, the locals, they are the ones quite often they or their families are the ones most affected by the attacks of these pirates. After all, while the pirates are of little consequence to fighters of your caliber, to an ordinary person, a madman with a knife is still a madman with a knife. It is something to be feared. The pirates haven't really been attacking many ships. Not many ships to attack, after all. Instead, they've been raiding coastal villages, using their ships as means of quick getaway. The pirates seem to have been divided into smaller cells rumor has it, meet up in certain locations in order to trade goods with each other. That way, if one pirate ship goes down, it's not an end to the entirety of the pirates. And of course, you keep hearing the stories of Mia, the main captain, as the stories call him, the king of the pirates. An old man, retired war veteran, they say, and a man known for his sadism. Being attacked by a pirate is bad enough, but Mia is known to toy with his food. It is said that no pirate has ever surrendered, because as much as they might fear the punishments of the law, they fear what Mia will do to them even more.
Alright. Do I find any information? One of the things I'd be trying to figure out is whether or not anyone in particular is expecting to get hit. Any large shipment of goods have been received, and any traders nervous about it being hit or taken.
Make a diplomacy check.
Actually, that's a really good question. Good job.
Make a diplomacy check.
Alright. Where's my diplomacy? Roll it at the top. Plus 17. Let's roll. That was a nat 20.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. That was less impressive. It's only a 10 plus 2, so 12.
You have uncovered some quite useful information. We will get into what you've uncovered a bit later because that is going to come into what we have been to something that we've taking place later on the session. In the meantime, do you have anything else you'd like to ask, not involving the pirates, or shall we move on to what Klaus and Korim are doing?
Well, on top of asking questions, I have also been spreading rumors about a ragtag team of adventurers and powerful warriors who have been traveling the land, dishing out woe and pain to evil, while at the same time disguised as I do this disguised as nothing more than a simple sailor.
I see. I am once again going to have to ask you to make another diplomacy check.
Okay. That was a natural 15 plus 17.
The people are quite enthused and entertained by your stories. Many of them are convinced it is true. You get a couple of skeptical ones who go, sure, pull the other one. But, for the most part, the story is spreading. Your, as you put it, renown is gaining. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
Okay, in that case, Korim, Klaus, and Vell, what are you doing?